Diplomatic route between Russia and Armenia deepens as the Armenian Prime Minister announced the possibility of exiting its joint security pact. What does that mean for Armenia? What does that mean for Russia? And more importantly, what does that mean for the rest of the world?
Now joining us to discuss these reasons and potential consequences of this decision is Konrad Zasztowt from the Faculty of Oriental Studies at the University of Warsaw. Hello, sir, and welcome to TVP World.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So now, before we dig deep into this subject, now let's hear from our Prime Minister himself, as we prepared now a short soundbite. So let's hear what he had to say.
I declare that I will never visit Belarus as long as Alexander Lukashenko is the president there. I declare that at this moment, no Armenian government representatives will visit Belarus. As for Armenia's membership in the CSTO, something would have to change, such as Belarus leaving the CSTO or the president of Belarus providing an apology and an explanation to the people of Armenia, which would be acceptable to the people of Armenia.
So Armenia's Prime Minister announced the country's intention to leave the CSTO, but what are the primary reasons behind this decision?
Well, the main reason is the fact that Armenian government believe that CSTO, Collective Security Treaty Organization, so this military pact, which is kind of military pact looking like NATO, but organized by Moscow. Armenians believe it will help Armenia in defending their borders, especially in conflict with Azerbaijan, but it didn't happen. So after all those clashes on the borders with Azerbaijan in recent years, subsequently CSTO was declaring that okay, we will send some experts to look what is going on the border, but they actually didn't help at all as Armenia. So eventually, Armenian government and Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan they declared that we no longer we don't need any participation in this pact because actually it doesn't help us at all. So we are not interested in prolonging our membership in the CSTO.
All right, so as you mentioned, the picture is clear when it comes to Armenia's intention to exit the CSTO, as in their needs weren't being met. However, well, during yesterday, while this was being announced, the Russian propaganda outlets were on fire. There's people threatening, well, the Russian propagandists threatened to annihilate Armenia and using very strong words pushing back against this potential decision. So my question would be, what's the stake for Russia and what's got them so up in arms?
Well, actually, the biggest military base of Russia is in Armenia. It's in the second biggest city of Armenia, in Gyumri. And this is quite important for Russia, because this is a base which is, for example, important from the logistical point of view when, for example, we remember that Russia is involved in such conflicts like in the Middle East, like Syria, and this is very important to have this base in the South Caucasus, namely in Gyumri in Armenia. But Armenians they have their reasons not to believe Russia, not to prolong their military cooperation with Russia. And this is, of course, making Russia angry now. But I think these are just words at the moment, because Russia is involved mostly in war in Ukraine, and Russia is not able to do anything serious in the South Caucasus at the moment.
And how could Armenia's exit from the CSTO impact regional security dynamics in the South Caucasus?
I don't think it has any meaning at the moment, because Russia already is not there. Russia is already not active in the South Caucasus. So let's have a look at what is going on in Nagorno-Karabakh region. So last year, Azerbaijan finally gained control over the whole territory of Nagorno-Karabakh, including the capital of this region, called in Armenian Stepanakert, in Azerbaijan Khankendi. And Russians were there, but they didn't do anything. So Russians are not able to have any impact on the ground there in the South Caucasus. So basically, I don't think whether they are there or not, it makes no difference at the moment.
Right, like you mentioned, the inaction of the Russian troops on the ground is severely damaging the trust in Russia when it comes to the Armenian side. Their trust in Russia is waning. However, Russia traditionally has a stronger relationship with Armenia, and that has changed a little bit in the recent years in leaning more towards Azerbaijan. Can you help us understand what is the shift?
The shift is geopolitical. So, as I said, the main goal of Russia is to invade Ukraine, to win war with Ukraine. So Russia needs maybe, if not allies, but at least some neutral cooperation with some neutral states in the region. But the biggest neutral state in the region is Turkey at the moment, and Turkey is important as this country, which is, of course, not ally of Russia, but as I said, neutral state, which is a kind of corridor for economic cooperation, window for economic cooperation for Russian Federation. And Turkey is, of course, in alliance with Azerbaijan, because of all those cultural, ethnic, linguistic links with Azerbaijan. So at least since 2020, but I think it's even before, Russia decided to cooperate more closely with Turkey. And when you cooperate with Turkey, you have to cooperate with Azerbaijan, because actually this is this Turkic alliance, and that means that Armenia is at that moment not that much important for Russia.
And now, what are the immediate next steps for Armenia following this announcement, to your mind?
Well, actually, Armenia is in a very difficult situation, a very difficult geopolitical situation. Armenia is alone in the region. The European Union, the United States, NATO countries declaring, of course, support for Armenia, but these are just some positive words. But Armenia have to survive in this quite hostile environment. So it's a very difficult situation for Armenia at the moment. But on the other hand, Russia is, as I said, Russia's influence on the South Caucasus region is very weak at the moment. So there is also a window of opportunity for Armenia to become a state closer to the Western Euro-Atlantic structures, to European Union. And of course, the most important thing is to solve Armenia is to solve its conflict with Azerbaijan. Regarding the borderline.
Right, so when it comes to that border, Armenia is still stuck between a rock and a very hard place with the West's mere rhetorical support as well as Russia's inaction. We'll have to keep monitoring the situation. Meanwhile, thank you so much for breaking all of this down. I really appreciate it. Mr. Konrad Zasztowt on Faculty of Oriental Studies from University of Warsaw. Thank you so much.